how you deliver your service is a pretty important part of your business model when you're a personal trainer. If you don't get this right based on what you want as an outcome for your business and who you want to work with and what they need in terms of their service, you're going to always be turning over clients, having trouble attracting people, constantly looking to sell, and you're putting yourself in a position where you're basically going to be a sales consultant for your own business. And that's usually not what we want to do. We start to think about, is this really where we want to be long term? Instead, let's build a suitable business model based on your ideal personal training client. Determining the most suitable delivery method allows you to run an efficient business, reduce your back in time, improve your perceived authority with clients, and ultimately lead you to run a business your way instead of letting it be run by your clients. Now, a really interesting thing happens when you do this. Clients actually get more buy-in. They trust you more. They believe in what you're saying more. They're more adherent and they get better results and they stay longer because they trust a professional and that's who that they want to work with. They're also willing to pay you a little bit more if you present as a professional authority as well. There's 6 most common delivery methods that we're going to talk about today. So we got face-to-face, one-on-one, semi-private, and group. Then we've got online, one-on-one, semi-private, and then touch-free products as well. So face-to-face, one-on-one, it's the OG. It's the one that's been around forever. It's what most people think of when they hear the term personal training, even for yourselves more than likely. We recommend it's where you cut your teeth. Everyone should spend some time working one-on-one with people and getting them results face-to-face in the gym. When it comes to your business model, who should be using it, who shouldn't? If you're inside your first year, you should definitely still be doing one-on-one. If you like working with people face-to-face and having that engagement, you're an extrovert, then one-on-one's probably the way to go. If you like being in that gym environment, etc., then that's where it's at. If you want to work highly in like technical side of things, tweaking technique, all that kind of stuff, one-on-one is probably the way to go. So the pros of having a face-to-face one-on-one service, it's the most personalized service you can offer. It's typically the most effective for outcomes. It allows for lots of learning to you as a personal trainer. So newer trainers, 100% where you should be spending most of your time. And it's the safest for the client. So if you want to work with beginners, then we definitely want to be offering some kind of face-to-face, particularly one-on-one service before we throw them into groups or online or anything like that. The cons. As you advance further and further into your career, we start to look at, okay, what other things can we do outside one-on-one? Like, what is it actually costing us to do 40 sessions a week? Well, it obviously costs a member a little bit more money. So depending on who you work with, if your target market is people who don't make a lot of money, then that's a consideration for a one-on-one model. You're trading time for money. In this situation, regardless of how good, if you see our next video, we talk about setting up client agreements and stuff, regardless of how good that is, at some point you still need to do the sessions with these people. So that means you're trading, you're being present for money, which long-term isn't how a business actually runs. It essentially just means you're an employee of your own business, almost on a casual basis in some instances. We can make clients become reliant on us in a face-to-face model, which is, for most personal trainers, not what we want. We want to help people in the long term and help them to be able to sustain their results for themselves. Clients will train with us less frequency due to the cost. Sometimes clients will actually pay slightly more for group because it means they get to see you 3 times than they would for one face-to-face session, for example. So who's it best suited for? It's best suited for in the gym or outdoor trainers, newer trainers definitely, and then beginner and intermediate clients across a full spectrum of different goals. So what about semi-private? So we determine semi-private being 2 to 4, maybe 6 people in a session with yourself. So 1 on 4 usually. Growing in popularity over the last 5 years as people that start to fill their personal trainers that start to fill their books, realize, well, I can put 4 people with similar goals, similar interests at similar times into one session and make a higher dollar per minute because they're all doing pretty similar stuff anyway. It's going to work for them. It's going to work for us. But the pros for this, it's going to be, it remains programmable. Like we can still hone in on a fairly specific goal, particularly if you're working with Gen Pop. We can still make that work in this model. You're able to like regress exercises within the group and make that work pretty effectively. There becomes this accountability amongst members. So because Jenny's going to show up, Barbara has to show up, and they start to rely on each other and put a little bit of perceived pressure on each other to do the best that they can. It's a higher dollar per minute for the trainer, and it's an enjoyable environment, a little community. It's lots of fun, a little bit less serious typically than, say, your one-on-one sessions. The cons, as much as it's programmable, there's still going to be lower personalization based on space, working in with each other, the variable goals within each person inside that group. You're still trading time for money because you still have to run those sessions no matter what. Clients can become reliant on you, and creating a group that works well together and wants the same outcome can also be a little bit of a challenge depending on how big of a group you have. Trainers with a full one-on-one book is usually the step that we recommend moving into groups. If you can't fit any more one-on-ones in, start breaking off into this group model. So then we move into face-to-face group sessions. All right, so they've been around since personal training started, best capitalized by the Les Mills, and then obviously we had the bootcamp rage of the early 2010s. It seems to have sort of wavered a little bit at the moment, maybe coming back into some popularity with the forced outdoor stuff. I live in Melbourne, so boot camps kind of suck. It's cold and no one wants to do it. However, in the past, we've found great success with creating community and all that sort of stuff with groups as well. Even for trainers who see themselves primarily as a one-on-one coach, you can create an option that's a great retention tool. It's a great community building tool that allows people to plug in and do something together once a week or so. It's obviously an even higher dollar per minute if provided you can fill it, you get enough people in it. It's a good bonus offer or lead generator. So if you're having a group that you can, hey, come try this for free, it's usually a great way to create leads. They get to meet your community, experience your environment at its peak energy. There's a community enjoyment feeling, like part of a team, belonging somewhere. Those kind of feelings come up in that environment and people love that. They stay for a really long time. It's time efficient and it's cheaper for the client themselves. The cons, hey, we're going to be limited to everything. Space, equipment, which means we can't personalize. You're still kind of trading money for time. Yes, if you have a massive group that's at a higher price point, you're making good money for that time, but you still essentially have to be there. You can't always fill every class, particularly if you're outdoor and it's weather dependent, or you've got space dependency issues and stuff like that. It's best suited for people in the gym or outdoor trainers who are looking to build a community, and beginner clients with general goals. It's going to be challenging to create a really good physique or strength focused large group session. They're probably better off in that semi-private model. So now we think, okay, we want to move into the online model. Now we recommend at least 6, if not 12 months of face-to-face coaching before you move into the online environment, simply because you need to understand systems and stuff so in depth when it goes online to make it effective for the client, and even just overwhelm for yourself. Being able to coach people and interact and stuff is harder online. So doing it face-to-face first and learning your skill set there is definitely advisable. But online coaching has been steadily growing in popularity since about 2010. I think with the COVID period as well, over the last couple of years, we've seen a really sharp increase in the demand for online coaching. So we do want to put our hat in that ring probably at some point. The other pros, it's really high dollar per minute if it's set up well, time efficient if it's set up well. It's effective for self-motivated clients. It's a personalized service. And the rewards are based on value, not based on time. So you're selling an outcome, not selling a time frame that you're sitting with someone. The cons, obviously limited technique input. It's not suitable for some clients for that reason, like beginners, etc. Or people that are like need motivation to go train. It's going to be tough. So again, remembering who you want to work with. Are they going to show up 3, 4, 5 days a week by themselves? Requires really solid systems, like way more solid than face-to-face. You need to have that stuff on lock. It can be a little bit slower to fill. So if you want to make a career change from working a desk job to going online, it's probably not going to happen in a day. It takes a little bit longer than when we're in the gym. We've got access to 4,000, 2,000 members that we can contact and book in for consults, etc. Best suited for trainers with solid systems, a very clear niche, who train people with intermediate to advanced goals, and trainers with some experience. Now, online semi-private only really started rearing its head last year, particularly in Australia. It's the same model as the semi-private with the face-to-face, but instead we're creating like a program and a nutrition plan, etc., for people to follow in a small group that everyone's doing the same thing based on the goal that they have. We create the same outcomes. So we've got high dollar per minute, low price point for the clients. You get that community, even some competitiveness going on. It's time efficient and it works really, really well. Again, the cons obviously is going to be it's not as personalized as one-on-one. It can be challenging if clients don't follow the program. You get a 6-week block, someone misses week 3. Out of your group of 6, that one person hasn't completed an important week. We get to the end of the program. Do they move forwards? Do they not? That starts to get a little bit complex if you've got that happening a lot. You need to have more total clients. So if you're not bringing in many leads, if you're only getting 1 lead per week or 1 sale per week, and you're trying to fill groups of 6, that's going to take a long period of time to do. So we need to have this ecosystem that's funneling into your business and allowing you to put on a lot of people, particularly in launches, so they all come at the same time for it to really be effective. The concept's also not that popular yet. Most people don't know what it is, and when people don't know what something is, they're a bit more hesitant to purchase. Be aware of that. The people that I've seen it work really well for is people that already have a full book and they're able to downsell into that product. In general, best suited for trainers with very solid systems. Again, you're managing even more people inside one system. Have a really clear niche, so you're attracting the similar type of person who has a similar type of goal. Intermediate to an advanced client. Trainers with online and face-to-face experience are gonna be able, so you want to have both. You want to coach people online one-on-one and face-to-face, so you know how to manage all the stuff that comes with this. Lastly, we've got online touch free. So that's creating a product that we put in some time, we put it on the internet. Hey, it's this much. Download my PDF, my book, my whatever, and you sell it at a fee with no input from yourself. It's the dream. It's from an income standpoint, whether it is from a fulfillment standpoint. That'll depend on you and what you want to achieve. So the pros, there's no time input once it's created. It's a really great downsell. Say someone has to move away or they can't afford the premium service, you plug them into this touch-free model. If it's working and it's continuing to sell, then it becomes passive income, which is obviously very, very time efficient. The cons, however, low personalization. You don't even know who you're writing this for. You're writing it for a goal. It's unreliable to fill if you don't have a large following or a good strategy to pump lots of people into the program. It can be a bit of a challenge. Outcomes are unreliable because, again, there's no accountability. How many people buy this program and then never open it again? Hugely competitive environment because it's the fastest way for a famous or good looking or whatever talented athlete to then create a product and monetize what they're doing. So you're entering into an environment that is very competitive. Best suited, trainers with a solid system, a very clear niche, almost any goal and level, and then trainers with a large or very active and loyal following who are going to be willing to buy from you. They're the things that I would want to tick off. So how is your business going to look? I'm going to take you through step by step how you guys can pick the services that your business needs. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you know your niche. We're going to have the link comment section below to our 3 steps to niching your business. We've also got a YouTube video on that from a few weeks ago if you want to go check that out. But here's an example of how this might play out. If I was to work with 26-year-old females who want to look, feel, and be stronger, they already know how to squat, bench, and deadlift. They're self-motivated to train, and training is in the top 4 priorities of their life. It tells us a lot about the person that we're working with. The possible suitable delivery methods for that person is going to be face-to-face one-on-one, face-to-face semi-private, online one-on-one, and an online small group. Let's say the personal and business goals for this person is they want to make 75 grand a year from their coaching, but they also want to be able to work from anywhere, and that's their lifestyle. They want to be able to up and go. They're not tied to a gym or anything like that. Other considerations, they don't currently have a waiting list for their coaching. They find limited fulfillment for making sales. It's not how they want to spend all of their time. So the best fit is going to be online only, one-on-one coaching. It suits the person that we're working with. They place training in a high priority. They're self-motivated. They have a goal that we can chase online, and they already know how to do the main movements. So it works really, really well. Allows us then to have that nomadic lifestyle that we're aiming for. And this is our goal. So have a think about what your ideal client is, what service they would actually need to get the best outcomes, and then what business outcomes you're looking for in the next 6 to 12 months, 3 years, 5 years. How's that going to evolve? What services are going to change? Are we going to fill your one-on-one and then go online? Are we going to fill your online and then go into small groups? How is this going to evolve for you? So we've got a really clear path as to what you're doing with your business. So once you've got that done, you're going to jump over to episode 123, which is on YouTube as well, of our podcast, where we unpack setting up your business model. give you a really nice deep dive into everything we talk about in Standout PT around setting up a business model that will allow you to be effective, efficient, and build a long-term sustainable career that helps both your clients and yourself long-term. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to check out stcfitlearning.com. Have a look at Standout PT while you're there, and obviously tune into the podcast. Thanks for watching.